Victims Talk Show. Our next guest is Carmen Ray, Manager of Family Advocacy at Sojourner Family Peace Center.
Hello, how are you?
I'm wonderful.
Wow, we're so glad to have you. Actually, you know what? We've had you on the show.
Yeah.
You know, I think about it for
We do the repeats.
we just, but it's for, you know, the thing is, it's repeats, but at the same time, you know, there, you know, you guys are definitely, you know, reinventing yourselves, and we appreciate that and can definitely respect
So
that.
I want to know personally, because we have men in the audience and they probably like their male bashing, they want to sneak out. But I want to know, like, is domestic violence, does that only affect women? Because it seems like the women are always put in the forefront as the victim and the male as, you know, the aggressor. Is that the case?
Well, absolutely not, and that is the uniqueness of my position with the Sojourner Family Peace Center. I have an opportunity to manage the family advocacy and support services that pretty much includes women and children. The unique development in my position most recently includes our Beyond Abuse program that supports men who are perpetrators, but oftentimes we definitely find men who are also victims of domestic violence. So it's a whole family. It's a whole family that's learning behavior with men, women, and children.
How do you define abuse? Yeah, not that. How do you define abuse? Yeah.
But there's many different definitions. Well, let's keep it simple for the purpose of our show today to make sure that people walk away. And the takeaway is that it's the power, control, the manipulation of a person that could be physical abuse, emotional, financial, mental abuse, and that power and control over another person.
Now, we've never heard the financial. You
Yeah,
normally think mental and physical, but you
Mhm.
never think financial. How do you be financially abused?
Yeah.
I see myself financially abusing myself, you know, like, we shouldn't have bought that, you know, but, I know.
Financial abuse is, you can tell it's an indicator that you may be in a financially abusive relationship when you don't have the decision-making power of how you utilize your financial resources. And and so when we find young women oftentimes fall prey to older men because they take them to get their nails done and then buy them a little something, and next thing you know, they're dancing, they're prostituting, and it kind of translates quite often to some form of human trafficking because that financial abuse begins at that really vulnerable state. Housing, manipulation. Yeah.
You never, I guess, I never saw it like that. I didn't know
think about
that. For whatever reason, when you think of a prostitute or someone like that, you just assume that they went into that lifestyle purposely.
Right, and it's
So that is definitely something
manipulation,
that these young girls should know. Yes.
And at Sojourner, the Allstate Foundation and Avon Foundation funds our financial literacy. We understand the importance of breaking that cycle of financial abuse by empowering victims of choice. If you have more education, more financial resources, you're better able to make good decisions about your financial future.
Now, when we talk about abuse, and this is popped in my head now, this is not on the cards, guys. But when we talk about domestic violence, we think about the male and the female, which is, you know, the common, you know, type of relationships. But in homosexual relationships, do you get like same-sex relationships that are abusive?
Yes, we do.
So is it a different approach that you guys do with them, or is it just the same?
Well, our approach is the same, but we do not provide services for men in our one location. The service delivery happens in 2 different locations, but our approach and how we deal with families holistically around abuse is the same.
How did you connect to Sojourner?
How I connected with Sojourner is I've been working in this community for about 32 years with different formats, but it's always been about the family empowerment piece for me. And someone thought that would be a good fit to work at Sojourner, reached out, I applied. So along with my independent work through my company, I found that the position was very attractive and it was in alignment with my purpose and my mission in life.
Okay. Well, how can somebody else connect with it? That I'm gonna have a 2-part question. How can they connect with Sojourner Truth? And do you see that it's people that maybe have been in the past abusive relationship that come and help the other one?
Yes, well, let me provide our contact number. We do have a 24-hour hotline, and you can call our administrative office at 276-1911 and call anytime. Our administrative office is open 9 to 5, but we have a line for anybody that's in a crisis. That's a 24-hour hotline, so that's always available. Most recently, Jodine has joined me. We launched a program at Sojourner a couple months ago. It's called Souls of My Sisters, because we have a group of women that we feel walking through our community that I call them the walking wounded. They are resilient, they're powerful, they're professional, they have redefined themselves, but they have never really addressed the abuse that they suffered.
Wow.
And so it creates a healing circle for women who may be freshly abused or women who have found their way out of it, but it's a sisterhood where we come and support each other.
And why don't you share with the listeners what are some of the services that Sojourner offers, but then also what are some of the demographics? Because I know when I joined you with this program, being a victim myself, but then there were certain things that I saw within the type of demographics that came through there. You know, for myself, knowing, you know, abuse is not prejudice. But maybe if you could share some of the types of women that we work with there.
We have everyone through the whole spectrum of Sojourner, women outside of this country. We got the whole spectrum. Women who are coming in with six-figure income to women who are homeless, mothers, not mothers. Men, we serve men in our Beyond Abuse program who are freshly out of prison, to men who are running Fortune 500 companies. So there is no socio-economic, there is no demographic that is not being impacted by domestic violence.
So who's domestically abused in prison?
Well, oftentimes,
The officers?
oftentimes when a person is coming out of incarceration and they have not learned the importance of healthy relationships, that they can find themselves falling prey. And just think about the young men in our community that's coming out of prison. Well, if I don't have a job, and a lot of them don't, I hook up with somebody who I have no business living with, and next thing you know, that person, those two people with all of that baggage, they come together and it's just explosive, very toxic.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
You started, well, when Jodina asked you the question not too long ago, the services.
Yes,
Let's talk a little bit more of the services.
Let's talk about the services, because there's so much available. And I know for me working in family services, if I didn't know it, a lot of people in our community don't know it. But we have advocacy services, we have support groups, all this is free. Sojourner Family Peace Center is the largest domestic violence agency in the state of Wisconsin, right here in our community. So we have support groups, we have advocates, community advocates that's actually working at the police districts. And so you can reach out to an advocate right there. We have a shelter service. We have the Child to Domestic Violence program. So if a family or a victim is in need of services, they call us and we will hook them up with the services that's most appropriate.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you, Carmen. We're glad you came.